For years, maybe even decades, we're all taught what not to do with our money, right? Don't eat out, cancel subscriptions, skip the fancy coffee. But what happens when that plan actually works? What do you do when you finally get to the top of the financial mountain? Okay, let's get into this because today we're talking about the problem that literally everyone wants to have.
So, just to make sure we're all starting from the same place, let's define what we mean by rich for this conversation. We're talking about being completely debt-free, having your house paid for, and having a net worth of $1 million or more. If that's you, seriously, congratulations. You officially have permission to start enjoying it. And if you're on your way, well, think of this as your roadmap for when you get there.
And this really is the heart of it, isn't it? We get so good at saving, so disciplined about being frugal, that the idea of actually spending money can feel weird, almost wrong. It's this massive psychological shift that nobody ever prepares you for. So the real question is, how do you make that transition without feeling guilty or, messing up everything you've worked for? It all starts up here, in your head, with a deliberate change in your thinking. You're not operating from a place of scarcity anymore. You've earned the right to operate from a place of strategy and, yes, enjoyment. Let's break down what that actually looks like. I love this metaphor. Just think about it for a second. You've been flexing that frugal saving muscle so hard for so long that your spending muscle is basically weak. It's atrophied. That's why spending can feel so uncomfortable at first. And that's a completely normal feeling. It doesn't mean you're being irresponsible. It just means you're learning a brand new skill. So let's really put these two mindsets side by side. The old you, this saver, is constantly asking, what's the cheapest option? It avoids anything that feels like a luxury. But the new mindset, the strategic one, asks a totally different question. Will this improve my quality of life? It gives you permission to upgrade where it really counts. See, it's not about being wasteful, it's about being intentional. And that leads us right into the first practical way to use your new mindset, smart luxuries. Now, this isn't about buying gold-plated toilets or anything crazy. It's about strategically using your money to buy back your two most valuable assets, your time and your peace of mind. Think of these as your first permission slips to stop living like you're broke. Go ahead and book the flight that doesn't have a 5 a.m. layover. Buy the nicer couch with the good fabric that's actually going to last. Stay in a hotel where you don't have to climb over the toilet to get into the shower. These little quality of life upgrades won't even make a dent in your finances, but they will start letting you actually enjoy what your money can do for you. And this right here, this is the ultimate luxury. The real power move isn't buying a fancy watch, it's buying back your weekends. If a task just drains your energy and your joy, well, you can now afford to delegate it. Hire someone to mow the lawn, pay someone to clean the house, get a pro to handle your taxes. What you're doing is reallocating your most finite resource, your time, back to the things that truly matter. I'm telling you, that is the highest return on investment you will ever get. Okay, so once you're comfortable with those small upgrades, you can start thinking a little bigger. But, and this is a big but, these bigger steps come with non-negotiable golden rules. This is where that discipline that got you here becomes absolutely critical to keeping you here. All right, let's talk about getting a new car. Yes, as a millionaire, you can finally buy a new car and afford to take that depreciation hit. But the rules are firm for a reason. Rule 1, you pay in cash, period. This keeps you debt-free, which is the whole foundation of your wealth. And Rule 2, the total value of all your vehicles, your cars, boats, whatever, cannot be more than half of your annual income. This is what keeps that lifestyle creep from getting dangerously out of control. And this is the most important rule of them all. This is the foundation for every single major purchase you make from here on out. You worked way too hard to break the chains of debt, to ever willingly put them back on. We are not going backwards. Freedom is the goal, and debt is its absolute opposite. The exact same logic applies to your house. Since it's paid off, you have 100% equity. So whether you want to renovate or move, you operate at the speed of cash. You plan a project, you save up the money for it, and then you pay as you go. No new mortgage, no home equity line of credit, no exceptions. Why? Because using your paid-off house like an ATM brings risk back to your safest asset. That paid-off house is your fortress, and you never, ever weaken the walls. So you've learned how to enjoy your wealth responsibly. You're making smart upgrades to your life without wrecking your financial security. That's huge. But enjoying your wealth, that's just the first step. Now it's time to move to the next level, optimizing it. Learning to enjoy your money is that crucial first phase. It proves you're in control of your wealth and not the other way around. But the real game, the thing that comes next, is optimization. It's the shift from just having a comfortable retirement to making your wealth work for you and for others, creating an impact that's going to outlast you. Look, building wealth was never just about piling up zeros in a bank account. It was about the options those zeros give you. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Now that you have real financial freedom, what's your plan to not only live well, but to build a legacy? Welcome back. In our last explainer, we talked all about how to build wealth. So today, we're tackling that big, exciting question, you're wealthy, now what? I mean, after all those years of training your saving muscle, what happens when the plan actually works and you finally reach the summit? And that's a fantastic problem to have, right? You've spent years flexing that saving muscle, but now it's time to learn how to use your wealth to actually build the life you've always dreamed of. Your spending muscle might feel a little weak, so this is all about intentionally and purposefully building it back up. So, we're going to walk through this journey together. It moves from the really practical stuff to the truly profound. First, we'll make your money work smarter. Then we'll protect everything you've built. And finally, we'll get to the real purpose of it all. So let's get started. All right, first things first, we have to make sure your money is set up not just for maximum growth, but, and this is key, for maximum flexibility. See, this isn't just about having more money. It's about having more options in life. Okay, so at this point, major debts like your mortgage are probably gone, which means you have more financial breathing room than ever before. Now is the time to pour fuel on that fire. By maxing out these tax-advantaged accounts, you're letting the incredible power of compound growth do all the heavy lifting for your future. This is such an important question. Because look, traditional retirement accounts are great, but they are restrictive. They basically lock your money away until you hit a certain age. So what if your dream is to be work optional in your 50s, or maybe launch a new business? Well, the answer lies in a really powerful tool.
I want you to think of this as your bridge to freedom. It's just a standard brokerage account where you can invest in the exact same things as your retirement accounts. But, and here's the magic, there are no age restrictions. It lets you get to your wealth without all those penalties.
So what you're seeing here is that classic trade-off, right? Retirement accounts give you big tax advantages, but you trade away access. A bridge account, on the other hand, trades those tax perks for total flexibility. The key thing to realize is that you don't have to choose. Having both gives you the best of all worlds. And hey, a quick word on real estate. The whole point here is to avoid taking on new debt after you've worked so incredibly hard to get free. So if you get into rental properties, treat it like an active business and pay with cash. Protect your peace of mind. Okay, once you've optimized, the next step is to protect. Getting your wealth optimized is one thing, but protecting it for yourself and for the people you love, well, that's the essential next move. Because as your net worth grows, you unfortunately become a bigger target. Building a financial fortress isn't just smart, it's absolutely necessary. I know, most people put this off because it feels like boring, grown-up paperwork. But I'm telling you, this is one of the most loving things you can possibly do for your family. It protects them from legal headaches, confusion, and so much stress during what would already be a really difficult time. These right here, these are the foundational pieces. They are the non-negotiables that make sure your wishes are honored and your assets go where you want them to go, smoothly. A good plan gives your family peace, and it honors all the incredible work you put in your whole life. Okay, listen up, because this is probably one of the best-kept secrets in all of personal finance. An umbrella policy is a super low-cost way to add a massive layer of protection over everything. For just a few $100s a year, you can literally get millions in coverage. It is peace of mind in a policy. And now we get to my favorite part, the most satisfying part of this whole journey. This is where we get to talk about the true purpose of building wealth. We're moving beyond the spreadsheets and into using your money for incredible generosity and life-changing experiences. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that huge mindset shift from just accumulation to making an impact. This is where your wealth finds its real meaning. Investing can be fun, sure, but nothing compares to the joy of changing someone's life for the better. Just think about it for a second. What have you always wanted to do for someone else, but just couldn't afford to? Well, now you can write a check that literally changes the entire course of someone's life, and it won't even put a dent in your finances. This is where your money gets to have a purpose that's so much bigger than you. Because, at the end of your life, you're not going to sit around remembering the balance in your bank account. You're going to remember the moments you shared and the stories you created. This is about investing in your relationships and in your own joy. I want you to hear this loud and clear. These are not expenses. They are investments. They're investments in the memories and the relationships that truly make up a life well lived. This is the freedom you worked so hard for. Use it. Create those unforgettable moments with the people you love most. So we've covered optimizing your wealth, protecting it, and then using it for fulfillment. What's the one big takeaway from all of this? What does it all really boil down to? This is the ultimate goal. It's about having the power to say yes to what really matters, to your family, to your dreams, to generosity, and having the freedom to say no to everything that takes away your peace. That is the true return on your investment. So whether you're already at this stage or you're still on the path, I would love to hear what part of this roadmap gets you the most excited. Is it the idea of that flexible bridge account, the peace of mind from a legacy plan, or is it the joy of dreaming up your generosity list? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining me.